everybody. Welcome back to the Damn Yankees podcast produced by Seven Ashes Productions. It is Monday, June 5th. I'm Megan. That's my brother Ryan. And that is our baseball dummy Cliff over there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
All right. We're doing a quick turnaround on the next podcast. We only have one series to talk about today. So we'll see if we make it less than an hour. Yeah, it was a good one.
Spoiler, we won't.
No faith. No faith.
We'll be
you're
here
probably
all
right,
night.
but you still have no faith.
We'll be here all night, and I will stay at my desk, which is also my prison.
Oh boy, you chose to be out here.
The betting odds are not in our favor.
Probably not.
Say that.
Just so everyone knows, I convinced Megan to do this podcast, not the other way around.
Well, that is true.
Yes.
All right. So before we waste any more time, I think that was a ploy to waste time on you. Anyway.
Rude.
Okay, we'll get to talking about the game or the series. So they played the Dodgers out in LA. They won the series, another series.
Yes.
And so they won that series 2-1. They dropped the first one, but did win the next two.
It's a big series to win too. I mean, they're number 4 in my rankings, but I think most of them have them top 4, if not top 3. Most don't have them any higher than 3, but the Dodgers are a really good team. I mean, they've got a really good lineup. They're not as injury ridden. I mean, they had some injuries to start the season, like during preseason, spring training. With some of their middle infielders. I think Gavin Lux was the big one.
I would say their shortstop was the big one in spring training. That was brutal, but I mean, otherwise it's the clash of the stars of Mookie versus Judge, and
they had their podcast. Well, not their podcast, but Betts's podcast, and Judge was on.
Oh, that's
Did you see him talking about Arson Judge?
Yes, that was pretty good. I
thought it was funny. He's like, I haven't seen his stats yet.
Yeah, right.
I would love
that was
for
good
him
they brought it up.
I don't think he would actually go into much detail. I think he just says there was a lot of craziness, a lot of people messaging him when it happened. He was still on a plane, didn't really know about it until people were messaging him. I would just love to know, like, from his side, like a exclusive, like
tell all,
like this is how. I mean, he wouldn't do it because I think he's respectful enough not to like put more.
Yeah, you'll have to wait for his version of the captain, in 10, 15 years.
So I think that would be an interesting story. I was hoping that it would happen on Betts's podcast, but it didn't. But it was still cool seeing those two guys.
Yeah. They also talked about the brawl. Right. Yeah, they also talked about the brawl from the Red Sox Yankee game where Mookie was still on the Red Sox, and he said Kelly that. One? Yeah, I think so. And he hit Tyler Austin. Was that who he hit?
That's the guy who I couldn't think of. Yeah, the first baseman that we traded for Luke Voigt.
Oh, right. Yes. So Tyler Austin. He was a call up, a bench guy, but he got hit and got real pissed. And
he was the one that, if anybody remembers, that I was referring to, like that he had his chewing tobacco come out of his mouth, and all the commentators were saying that it was a bloody lip. And
look at that bloody lip!
Unless his blood is brown, I don't think that's a bloody lip.
Right, he might have other problems. Mookie and Judge were just talking about how, Mookie was saying that he was like walking in slowly because he's like a lover, not a fighter or whatever, which that goes with Mookie's vibe. But he said he's like the bullpen was just like racing in, and Canely was like, full charge out he was like, I was going to let them go. And I think he said like Batanzas, he's like, why did you guys have everybody over 6'5" on your team that year? So I thought that was pretty funny. Nice little. I
think, as I remember, any brawl that we had, it was pretty much those guys like corralling the entire, especially like Judge and Stanton were just corralling the entire thing into a corner. Like, what are you going to do?
That's right. He didn't like move the entire scrum. That was a funny. So
it happened multiple times, but yes, I think on that one. But yes,
I've totally pulled us off topic.
Betts is a fun guy. You know, I think today on Yankees Twitter they were doing the name your favorite Yankee or name your favorite player on the Yankees, name your favorite player not on the Yankees. Betts was close up there. I mean, I've loved Betts since he was in Boston. I mean, we used to talk about it. I love Betts. Hate the fact that he plays for Boston.
Yeah. I was glad when he was traded. I mean, for multiple reasons. I'm glad he was traded to the Dodgers. Yeah.
There was one of the things, real quick, and then we can move on to the actual series. But one of the things that made me love Betts when he was in Boston was that time where he was put on a hot mic. I think it was a preseason game. It was a preseason game or it was at the All-Star break, but I'm pretty sure it was preseason game, spring training game. They put a hot mic on him, and he's like out in the outfield, and he's chatting about his bowling. He's chatting about a few different things, and a ball gets like hit well over his head, and he starts like full on sprinting at it, and he's just like casual, like, I'm not getting this one, boys, and like talking to the commentators, and it was just a really funny, like he just had a really funny attitude and way that he
he's real smooth about everything, and I think they should put the mics on in like low impact games. They should do that more often.
Yeah. He's I mean, he was definitely in
they did it.
Sorry, go ahead.
I would say they did it to Gleyber Torres for the Cincinnati game, and it didn't impact anything. You know, like they did it. It was like the 11:30 game, so it's like they had him on for like the second inning.
Put him on during any Oakland. Anytime that a team is playing Oakland,
just have them mic'd up.
Players.
It's fun. It's cool to see how they, how quick things happen and what.
Superstar group like with Judge, that call up Acuna Jr. that really started the let the kids play movement that, now we get to see like Fernando Tatis really
some personality.
Really dive into that, what Judge, the guys like Judge and Betts and those people started with the letting the kids play movement. Anyway, it's exciting to see the Dodgers because of all these players that you get to see, the
Freddie
Freeman is
first
another
game,
fun one. Freddie Freeman and Rizzo have like a really fun friendship.
Right,
so
Rizzo
those two together, I'm sure.
Rizzo struck out Freddie Freeman, and when he was on the Cubs, and Freeman was on the Braves, Rizzo's position player pitching, and Rizzo struck out Freeman. So I mean that's pretty funny. So they had Freeman mic'd up for this series. I forgot because he even mentioned that.
Insulting though.
Yeah, I think it was during the Cole game because they were asking him like, "How do you feel?" I think it was like the first inning. They're like, "How do you feel about you're about to get in the box against Cole?" And he was like, "I'd rather not." And like, I'd rather face somebody else, kind of thing. So that was funny. And Cole was really good with his during his start.
Kind of ended his day early because of a cramp.
Yeah, I think everybody was really really concerned. I even tweeted out, I was like, "Please give confirmation that Boone is an idiot and took him out after 80 pitches and he's not injured." And it actually landed somewhere in the middle. I guess Boone really wasn't an idiot. Cole had cramps most of the game and he was managing it, but then it was getting bad, I guess. So they
we always blame Boone for not taking Cole out sooner, for over trusting Cole.
But it was like 80 pitches in, he had finished the 6th inning and he was cruising along, and it was like, what happened? Where did Cole go? And there's been so many injuries.
What's going on with his banana intake? Why didn't he?
I know. I think somebody reported, I don't know if it was Cuddy or I don't know, one of the beat writers said and he did have plenty of bananas and water during the game or something. Like they did specifically mention the bananas, so I thought that was funny. But so he had some cramping and non-issue, hopefully. At least that's
he looked good in his game, that's for sure.
So that was good to see, especially after the first game. I was really concerned with how the balls were flying out against Sevy. Sevy gave up 6 runs.
That because I saw Boone comment on it that they were looking at they did not think it was physical, that it was technical in that first inning.
Sevy,
like he was
tipping. Yeah, I'd heard it from like the Dodgers were saying were rumbling that he was tipping his pitches. And then Sevy, like, I kind of liked the way he said, he was like, whether or not I was tipping pitches, that's on me and I sucked, like paraphrasing, but that's what he said. So
I do like Sevy, maybe as a Yankee. I have doubts he'll return next year, just because of some of the front office
clash
issues that he's had.
But
he's another guy who takes responsibility, but has been really good for us. So I have no.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more
he's lighthearted.
He
was a little like, he took ownership and he was like lighthearted about it in a way that you'd want him to be. Like, he was like, maybe I should stick to day games or something, because since he's been back, he's been doing really well until this game. And really it was just the first inning where he gave up 6 home runs and how many hit? I don't remember how many hits. 7 hits, 6 home runs. No, 6 runs and 7 hits. I think. Was just the first inning of the first game to the Dodgers, and that I was afraid was going to set a bad mood. But
they turned it around pretty well.
Yeah, they turned it around. So.
And Donaldson did hit 2 home runs in that game.
That first game. That's right. And
again, Donaldson does a lot when the game doesn't matter. I know everybody was talking about the 2 home runs and that, and those are good signs. I'm not going to poo-poo them.
Yeah.
And say that, we want to see him.
Yeah. It was like after that, a whole lot doesn't matter, right? After first inning, give up 6 runs. But I mean, he came right out in the second inning and hit a home run. I thought that was a good one to try to get us
back in it,
try to get the momentum to shift back to chipping away at that 6-run lead, which isn't an impossible feat, but no, I get it. And then the second home run was like, I think in the 8th or 9th inning, it was late in the game. So again, I mean, it was nice to see that he hit it,
but
right.
It's just,
I mean, he's got to keep doing it. I would like
to see him doing it when it matters for us. And so, I mean, maybe it's good signs. Some people are a little bit more, let's wait and see what he's doing.
I was, I gonna give him credit where he came out first day back and hit 2 home runs. That's great. I'll shut up at least for that day. But I felt like the second game, I didn't say anything. I didn't I don't know. Again, these are both 1 games, or there's 2 games, but sorry. The second game, I thought he looked more like Donaldson of old. There was a couple of pitches that he just looked at and was like, there really it is. So we'll see how he does. I hope his return is more like the first game than the second game. And, not that the second game was horrendous or anything, but for him, but it wasn't good. I don't think he hit in the second game, but
especially,
anyway.
He's going to need to prove it. And I hope that he does, but especially, and we will get more into the prospects later, but especially while Perez is still raking in the minors, while they have not yet put him over at third. We know he's done it before, like he's played third on occasion. So we know he can do it. If Donaldson and DJ continue to struggle, that option has to be there for the Yankees to call upon. So, I agree. Donaldson, good first game, not so great the second game, but we do win the second game. Judge was a big part of that.
Yes, the second game. Yes.
Second game.
Yes, Judge robbed probably go ahead hit like a saved the game. I think there were runners on. JD. It was
Max
and so
Muncy
he rammed.
Was on.
Muncy was on first.
He was on first.
So I think that was the only person on. But the way it was hit would have scored Muncy probably if Judge didn't catch that ball. And so he catches
Muncy,
it, but
he's not the fastest guy, but he knows how to run his bases, and he would have scored.
Yeah. Right. The way it was hit and the way Judge was running after it, it would have bounced around in the corner and probably would have scored a run, or at least put a runner on third. And with the, so, and I think the game was close at that time. But yeah, Judge ended up running into the fence. So yes, they were. That's right. And so, yeah, Judge ran into the fence. Everybody was concerned, and we can talk a little bit more about it later, but and then he sat the last game of the series because
the last game was mostly a pitching duel.
Yeah. Yes, it was pitching duel for most of the game. Missed most of it, but
is it Bobby Miller? Is that the pitcher?
Is it Bobby Miller? He's definitely Miller.
Yeah, he had a no hitter going for a little bit. I mean, not long.
That's right.
But,
I saw. Yeah.
a lot of the
Was it
Yankee Twitter
Volpe
were
who
trying
broke it
to.
up?
I believe so. And
Yeah, I know he had a
and then I
nice line
think
drive.
It was a lot of small ball for that win because Volpe got on. I believe Oswaldo hit like a ground out, but like a
I think that was later in the game. Higgy did the same thing. I think both of them, that's how we scored 2 runs. Was Higgy in one inning hit a ground out RBI, and then Waldo did it later, like you're saying. Yeah.
And I think
scored, Volpe hit a 2-run
homer to give us the insurance we need into the second inning, or into the last inning. I was really surprised. I mean, I was here watching when they put in Wandy, and I was very confused because it's like they putting Wandy in against like basically 3 righties, and they're talking about how good he was against lefties. I'm like, why didn't we like move? But he got through it pretty quickly. Wandy looked really good. Was he the one who got the save, or was it somebody else?
No, I think they put in Holmes. Because Holmes came in. Was it that game? Sorry,
with him being. Holmes came in the second game to close, and then the third game he came in like the 6th or 7th inning.
You might be right. Yeah, well, he looked at Holmes. I mean, speaking of Holmes, he looked really a lot better. Yeah, I mean, I saw somebody ask like, "Do you trust Holmes?"
Yeah,
and I'm not really. Maybe I've got like a foot in the. Yeah. I have a foot in the trust circle.
Boone, I guess like when a way I would look at it is I'm trusting right now how Boone is using him.
Okay.
I think it's
like bring him in the 7th, or
bring him in the closing role when it suits him. Don't bring him into the closing when any lefty is going to appear, because he just can't throw to lefties. He's like the opposite of Wandy. He cannot throw to any of the lefties. So, yeah, I mean, I like kind of like you say, I half trust him as long as the situation benefits him. I mean, right now we don't have a true team closer.
No, it's closer by committee. Is that what they call it? Like
like
figure it out as the game goes on.
In football, whoever's the hot hand, whoever's trusted in the situations. Like I said, if Cole Holmes has faced all righties, or if there's all righties coming up, Cole Holmes I feel a little bit more trusted in. If
so it's
there's lefties, put in Wandy, or mixture of Marinaccio,
Yeah, it looks like that game, the Herman game, Herman pitched 6.2. Holmes came in for an inning.
Really good.
And then Peralta did 1.1. Yeah, so
to close it.
And both of them looked great. The whole, Herman looked really good. One mistake to JD Martinez, and so he looked very good. It's good to have somebody looking very good right now. I mean, besides Cole, I guess is the point. But and no sticky issues for Herman. So just ride with it.
Since his struggles in April, he's not really allowed more than 1 or 2 runs outside of the game after the sticky game.
After the sticky issue, yeah.
I think he had a bad start in the game after the sticky issue, but outside of that, he's only given up 1 to 2 runs in his games. So
it's good to see that. Another player that did well coming off the IL stint was Stanton. So he only played 1 rehab game, so they played him on Friday, and he hit a home run. And then they played him on Sunday, and he had an important single, I think. Like he got on base in an important time, I'm pretty sure. Either that or he just had a really nice looking hit, and I liked it, and so we're going with it. But so that was good to see that he was hitting. Yeah, absolutely good to see him back. Changes the lineup completely with him back in it, and it was good to see him hit right out of the gate. A lot of the times he's pretty slow to come back from the IL, like he's slow to get hot again.
It takes him some time, yeah. So hopefully that continues. Another rest day today, so hopefully they, utilize that, especially with some of the stuff going on with the team.
Yeah,
Before we
so
get
we can
into
talk
that,
about
another
all
person
the-
who I thought played well, even though
Oh,
he was in
yeah.
the bad game, Canely came out for an inning, didn't give up
Oh, yeah.
anything.
Yeah, he did. He looked good, and it was nice to see him back too. So
yeah. There wasn't really a
yeah.
situation for him in the other two games just because of how close and how needed
Yeah.
they were for wins. But
yeah, and
very
like
good
and Sevy,
practices from
even though
Canely.
so even though Sevy like shit the bed in the first inning, he did like turn it around in the next few, and so he got through the fourth, and so that I think that probably helped Canely be able to come in like a easy spot that non. And so it was good first game back for him, and so it was good to see him back. Coney already commented on his pants. I thought that was funny. Tommy tight pants. For anybody who doesn't know, he wears really tight pants. So everybody always comments
and
on it.
And aren't they above his knee?
I think so. I think he might be.
Usually when people
either
do
that or they're
knee,
like right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
They're
They're like kind of calf high.
Sock, they're calf high, but
Well, Judge was starting to do the knee high socks because he wanted to show the umps, this is where my knees are. Stop calling my ankle high strikes. Like I'm 6'7".
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, same kind of sense that
yes,
not
he
for
is
the
a
same
monster.
reason. He is. But yeah, Canely wears the knee high socks.
So
love
speaking
seeing him
of
back
Judge,
on the mound.
We kind of alluded to it.
Yeah.
From the second game. So he crashed through a wall. It was a big Judge has a tendency whenever he goes on road games to destroy ballparks that he's visiting. Earlier this year, he destroyed the Maple Leaf at the Toronto Blue Jays stadium. I think one year, was it Tampa or was it a different? I don't remember what stadium it was, but he broke a TV. It was like a bar behind the
maybe
stands,
it was Tampa?
and it went in and it broke the TV. And there was another one.
He's done it at Yankee Stadium too, but yeah.
Yeah. He just breaks stadiums. But anyway,
he just breaks stuff. He hits the ball too hard and he breaks stuff.
Yeah, he tore through that fence like he was being chased by the villagers.
Oh, jeez.
And this time he didn't hit the ball too hard. He just went full speed, and his 6'7" self could not be held by the fence that they have in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
They basically punished Judge.
They punished Judge for having such a good hit or good
catch.
Hit. Good catch. I'm sorry.
And and that the fence didn't hold. Like it was the Dodgers Stadium fence that didn't hold.
Yeah, it was Dodgers Stadium fault, and they awarded Muncy second base because Judge stepped out of bounds. It was like, well, if the freaking gate was more secure, he wouldn't have stepped out of bounds. And the real kicker. The real kicker to that is that
this is made out of anyway steel.
Yeah, right. It's just a big dent in it now. The kicker is that at the foot of the gate there is a lip of concrete, which is what Judge kicked as he went into the fence to catch the ball, and so his right toe really hurts. And we don't really know.
He did stay in the game that day. I think he waved off trainers and said, "I'm good."
Mm-hmm. Said, fine.
But all of a sudden he
took
stayed the bench on the following day. And I think we were all kind of like, what's going on here? We didn't know if it was the running into the wall or just that Boone likes to do
just off day before an off day. Yeah.
Not to detract, but did you see the tweet from Patches O'Houlihan about that?
No, what did she say?
So, wishing I was the gate about now.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm sure many women were thinking that.
So objectifying these poor players. I'm disgusted.
I'm sure they hate it. Yeah, I mean we weren't sure. Judge had Boone likes to do 2 off days in a row. So like if the team has an off day like they do today on Thursday, he'll sit. He has been known to sit Judge that day. He does play most games more so than some of the other like the infielders.
Yeah, I think last year he actually told Boone to not
stop sitting him. Yeah, because home run chase and all that.
only 5 games last year.
That sounds right. I mean, he played a vast majority of them last year, and still somehow he has injury bug attached to his name. But
well, this doesn't help him. But again,
well, it doesn't help. But like these are like freak accidents. Like he's it's not an oblique pull or a calf strain, Bader, Stanton. Like you want to call those people injury prone, fine, but Judge's injuries are usually performance related, like diving for a catch and he breaks his breaks his rib, or gets hit on the hand by a pitch, runs into a fence and apparently kicks the shit out of some concrete and breaks his toe, maybe. So
so we're still waiting to find
this
out,
year, this year
he made that weird
his slide that was awkward. So I mean, I don't know. Like to call him injury prone, I think is too much. They're all like, I don't know. Maybe it's just my Yankee bias. I don't think he's injury prone.
Who, you?
Yeah. Well, and so what's weird is that we don't know what's going on. Judge is, they're always very cryptic, the Yankees, cryptic for
quote. Judge is really good injuries. At staying on that.
Yeah. They asked him if it felt broken, cryptic. And he says, like, it's tough to say. I've never broken a toe. We'll see what the tests say. They asked him if he's concerned that it could be an IL stint, and he said, if I'm on it, I'm on it, but I'm trying not to be. Who knows? So I thought that was a little weird, the way he's like, if I'm on it, I'm on it. Like, I'd expect Judge to be more like that second part where he's like, I'm trying not to be. Like, I would expect more emphasis on that part of the sentence. But
now, of course, we have not seen the video, so we don't know how the context of how he said it is.
I have not.
Still very unjudge-like.
Weird quote. Yeah. So, and it's, it's Thursday or Thursday. It's Monday. So I think they said they were getting tests done either Monday or Tuesday. So hopefully they're getting them done today, because we'd like to see him in the lineup tomorrow if he's okay. I think chances are doubtful. Yeah.
Especially against the White Sox. Not to say that those are easy wins. The White Sox did just come off of a sweep against Detroit, so it's not they are.
They're not in the
terrible team, but they're not a great team, so it may not be any push to get him back. I'm sure they want him out there for Boston. So.
That's true. So I mean, I think the odds are he doesn't play Tuesday, but I really, really, really hope for no broken toe here. I feel like you'd know.
Games, I feel like you would. I mean, it could be a pinky.
I mean, maybe he won't say, but I thought it was his big toe. Is it his?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear which toe.
I think it was. It was like his right big toe. So
I feel like if it's your big toe, you would know.
Right? I mean, maybe he still wouldn't tell you, but right. Like those toes are hard to tell, and they don't do much about it. Yeah.
And you could almost use I mean, depending on position, and you can almost play on a broken pinky toe.
Well, I was watching Talking Yanks, and they said, like, I don't think it was John Boy said, like, Luke Voit played on like a broken foot for all of 2020, was the home run leader. You're fine.
Well, speaking of the White Sox series and injuries there, and possible IL stints that we still don't know about, is Nestor Cortez. All of a sudden, I think Hoke, right? Hoke.
Rhymes with Coke.
Yes, tweeted out that it wasn't even anything that the Yankees necessarily disclosed, just in their pitching matchups. Cortez on the second game for Chicago went from Cortez to TBD, which means that there is some type of issue there. Of course, some people were speculating if it could be a trade. I think you and I both said it's unlikely, very unlikely. We were
like, there's no way. Yeah.
Just because of the type of presence that Nestor has. It's not been his best year. He is coming up on an extension year, so it's not entirely out of the realm. But if we thought that Monty was a big blow to the last year for being traded, that Nestor would be even bigger. So just very likely that he would not be traded unless we were getting something big.
Yeah. And it did turn out to be just an IL thing. They haven't put him on the IL yet for whatever reason, but they talked to Nestor and he said he's got like shoulder fatigue and soreness, and it's not, how did he put it? He said that it was soreness between starts. So normally you're pretty sore the next day after your start, typical, but like the second and third days you're feeling better and you're doing like you're doing mound work in the bullpen or and so he's saying it's limiting his ability to do the in between workouts because he's still sore like he is on the first day. That it is that, so he thinks it's inflammation and they're gonna do an MRI and look at it, but they're calling it fatigue. So hopefully it is just, I think Boone said hopefully he only misses 1 to 2 starts. You can never trust what Boone says. So you never know there, but
IL stint, unless they get him, which I guess they could retroact him IL. One start would only be just him not going on the IL and just skipping the start, doing the next one. So, we'll see what happens with Cortez, but he's another injury.
I'd be surprised if they don't put him on the IL just because, I mean, to me, it seems silly to waste bullpen, keep him on the roster and use the bullpen, use a bullpen day when we don't need to, when we're already kind of short.
You can always move up Brito. You can move up Randy Vasquez again. You get basically a free call up whenever somebody has to go on the IL. They don't use an option.
I mean, well, speaking of that a little bit, people are speculating that Weber is a phantom IL stint so that they don't have to DFA him, but we're able to bring in another arm. So who knows there? He said he had elbow inflammation though, which is the scary one because that could be Tommy John.
Did he say it was in the bad area too? Isn't that the
he specifically said and it's not good. Like, oh my god. So I don't know. So you maybe the phantom IL camp is wishful thinking instead of the truth. But if we had to get rid of him, or if we had to make room on the roster just because we needed another arm, we would have had to DFA Weber. So, it's possible that it was just like phantom. Let's hope.
The Yankees do that kind of thing. I mean, wasn't Nestor's one of IL stints last year about his testicles? Like
it was his groin. His groin. Your groin is just a muscle.
Okay. I thought he had said something else to that. Maybe it was just Yankee Twitter taking testicles. It to the.
Probably not. It was probably Yankee Twitter.
It must be Yankee Twitter just took the groin and then
Yes, typically people do, but women have groins. It's just a muscle in your upper thigh.
I just remember somebody saying that if Nestor saying if I have to go on a phantom IL stint, I'm going to make it about that or something like that.
If Nestor had to pick any phantom IL stint, I do remember those going.
It was just everybody was going on the IL for something really stupid, and it was only for 10 days. And it was like, come on, we know what's going on here.
And it was very heavily the pitchers. So it was we know what you're doing.
Aroldis Chapman. What was Chapman's? Chapman's was something stupid.
I think his was real. I think, or if you're talking about the infected tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? I don't think the Yankees would phantom do that because that makes the Yankees look stupid. Or it looks Aroldis Chapman looks stupid, and by adjacently.
Well, maybe they told him to pick whatever he wants. I mean, I don't feel like Chapman's been the smartest person lately.
No, but I think there were reports that that was a real
thing.
That was a real thing.
It just when it comes across fake injuries, that sounds like a fake one.
Sure, because who would be dumb enough? Cutting your finger on a toy. Yeah. No, I get you. I remember hearing about it, and in the way they reported about it seemed like it was a real thing because the Yankees didn't seem very happy.
The Yankees were.
So I don't know, but who knows? Chapman, who knows? Maybe they weren't happy with him anyway and wanted to make him look like an idiot. So maybe that did happen. Who knows? they are so cryptic about their IL stuff that, and not that, I mean, I certainly get, the Yankees not telling everyone every little detail about IL stuff. Basically, it's not that they're hiding it from the fans. They're not letting their opponents know what the ins and outs of what's going on for injuries. But
there's enough that goes on in the background that's like, you're just going to have to wait until we know that it's the right time. I mean, we always complain that the trainers never do a good job of getting these guys healthy. Well, part of getting injured is the recovery process. You don't want to rush these guys back when they're not ready.
Well, and that's why
not good to go.
Yeah, like with Stanton, we were all surprised at how fast he came back, which is why I wasn't surprised that he sat on Saturday. I was like, yeah, it's really annoying that they're doing this, but he played one game, they baby Stanton anyway, and so I wasn't surprised, I guess.
I still don't like it, but yeah, I'm with you that it's not surprising what they did. More just because he's rested for so long. The only thing I can understand is that he didn't get much AAA time to rehab.
Right, he only had the one, and I think if he was going to do a rehab assignment, that's what they would do. They would play him a game, rest him the next day, make sure you're okay, you okay, you okay? Okay, now you can play again. So that's why I was like, yeah, and they said, I think out the gate, that both of them would only play two of the 3 games. 2 of the 3 games. So I mean, I'm glad to see they're back, and hopefully with the month of June the way it is, there's like every Monday we have off, and then there's another Thursday that we have off too. So there's a ton of off days in Thursday or in June.
Plenty of rest time next month too. So
you got the All-Star break coming up. Yeah. So hopefully, it's a good time for him to come back, ease back into the lineup, and produce like Stanton can produce.
Did we have any other injuries outside of Weber and Judge and Cortez? I don't think we had any major injuries.
Greg Allen.
Major update. Oh yes, Greg Allen got hurt as well. So Waldo
which was
up.
Yeah. So I was like, it stinks for Greg Allen. Yeah, but so good job, Waldo. Your one game in AAA totally fixed you. I don't even think he played a game. I think he was.
I heard that he didn't.
No, I don't think he played. Sprint. I saw a report that he made it there, but it was he made it there and then was told, said, okay,
hey, you're going back.
we need you back on the plane to the West Coast. You're in Seattle, you get sent back to the East Coast, and then you're like, oh, JK, I need you to come to LA now. Like, oh man, it's a couple of long flights that kid was just on. Well, so good for him for hitting a home run the first day back.
He definitely didn't take the chance for granted. So good on him. I'm not surprised. People wanted Florial to take that spot just because, it slightly makes sense because Florial is another speedy center fielder. Oswaldo doesn't really play center field in general. He plays the corner outfields.
Put IKF out there.
Yeah. But I don't see a way for Florial to come back unless someone goes on the 60-day DL. I don't see anybody who's on the 40-man that they're willing to DFA. The 40-man roster to DFA at this time, especially not pitchers. When you look at what we have pitching-wise, we are very top-heavy. We do not have much in the way of pitching support. That's why when all these injuries happen, we are struggling on those games when our starters are our main starters aren't there because it's a big drop off.
Yeah.
The fact that Brito is our 6th best pitcher is tough,
Not fun. Yeah.
I think I was going through the prospects and there are not many guys that you can just, hey, we're going to pull you up. So
I know we have a pitching prospect that they really love, but I think he's in high A or something right now. He's really young or he's really new. The one that they're, we've got a couple that are okay, down in AAA. Not to say that we don't have good pitching in AAA, but the ones that they're excited about and think that they can,
do something
really help us at some time. Yeah, I don't even remember his name. I just saw a report.
But from the outfielder position, that's where a DFA would need to happen for Florial. someone who just got DFA'd, someone that no other team, like any other team, could have taken him off of there. Nobody wanted him. He ends up back on our team. I just don't see a way.
I don't think I wanted him up. I think I was more like, that's what we're gonna about. That's where we're about to see, aren't we? Just because so many outfielders have just like gone down. I think I was basing my thinking off of like what they wanted Waldo to get more at bats in AAA and figure himself out. But also makes sense that they would just call him right back up.
Well, it's an injury too, so you're not even wasting an option on Waldo. It's just bring him back up. He
it's just bring him
Yankees. Up. We don't have to make
and
any...
he's defensively, he's good. Like
he's still very good.
Provides value. Yeah.
Like the defense was never the problem this season. It's all been the hitting.
No.
So, So I mean, when it comes
he's still fast when he gets on. So he's a good replacement if Allen goes down. Waldo is a good plug in there without having to DFA anybody. So I'm glad that was the decision they make.
I don't see it happen with Florial unless someone goes on the 60 because on the outfield, unless they're willing to DFA like a Cole Calhoun, who's the old veteran in the AAA.
Isn't he the one though that just opted out of his minor league contract? Like 2 days.
That would have been today or yesterday.
I think it was like June 1st. Yeah, I think like June 1st was like pretty sure I saw that. But
he's been playing well in AAA. He's been getting a lot of consistent hitting. There's just really not a spot for him because Bowers is playing really well. If we're going to talk about another guy who's did well going back to the series, he hit 2 home runs in that second game. So you're not going to bump him out. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he were to opt out. And if he does opt out, then maybe that is a route for Florial back in. But
Calhoun opted out on the 1st. I guess June 1st was an opt-out clause. Yeah. So he had a 919 OPS through 26 games, 105 plate appearances when he was with AAA. So
he did well
pretty
there.
Well, but like you said, not a spot for him. So they.
Yeah. Was he on the major league 40-man though?
I'm
not sure because they would have moved someone from there to. We would have heard someone move into.
I think I don't think he was on the 40. Yeah.
So anyway, Florial would need someone to get off the roster in order for him to be moved on.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that because I keep forgetting that he is not on the 40-man. I mean, even though we just talked about that last week, but
he's been killing it in AAA. 12 home runs, I think. He's got over.
He always does.
around a 300 batting average. He's stolen quite a few bases. His name pops up a lot within the minor league app, like for all the notifications of how the AAA team is doing. His name pops up a lot there. So he does really well there. It's just anytime he's been called up, he hasn't. Speaking of someone who's been killing it in AAA, though, we talked about him last week. It was Waldo Peraza. I think he's still did he hit another home run?
I think so.
Since we last talked?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think he hit one just the other day. I mean, he's consistently having great at-bats. He's being very loud down in AAA that he shouldn't be there.
Yeah, and not with his mouth, just...
Right, yeah, not with his mouth. I'm not saying he's complaining. Yeah, he is showing everybody that he shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I think he's batting over 300, 324, 390 on base percentage, 631 slug, so he's over 1,000 OPS. He has 10 home runs, 20 RBIs, 20 runs, 6 stolen bases. His strikeout is at 14%, which if we're looking at, comparing that to like a Volpe, who's up to 30%, not using that as a way for me to say he should be in over Volpe, just
no, but comparatively, it's that's not good for Volpe either. He needs
position.
To work on that. Yeah. He's done all he should have to do in AAA, and I don't.
really think
it's not entirely the Yankees' fault.
Yeah, there's a clause.
There's a log jam. Yeah.
And we're still not willing to get rid of Josh Donaldson yet. Again, he comes back immediately, hits 2 home runs, so they're going to give him time to. But I really think by the time All-Star break comes around, if Donaldson sucks constantly, I really don't. I think DJ has done enough where, I don't think he's on any type of.
I don't think he's in any type of jeopardy
water,
of.
But maybe his starting position is in hot water. But I don't think he's in any jeopardy of DFA. Donaldson, on the other hand, he's in that same boat as Hicks. And I think if he doesn't perform by All-Star weekend, Donaldson is gone. If Donaldson is playing really well, Oswaldo gets traded. It's really the only options that we have.
Oswald, right?
Sorry, Oswald, not Waldo. Oswald Peraza gets traded.
Just make sure. It's possible Waldo gets traded. But probably not, because outfield, need that. But that's why I just wanted to make sure. But Peraza is it's hard having 2 guys on the team with just an O difference in their name. But Peraza is a very good trade piece, or he could really help our club. And I agree that by the All-Star break, he's not in AAA anymore. He's either on the Yankees because he's replaced Donaldson, or we've traded him or something. That's the only smart move. I really hope that's what happens. They don't let him rot down there.
Yeah. Another guy that's been doing really well in AA, who people are looking at him as another person. Everybody's wanting Oswaldo real quick with Oswaldo. He's a shortstop, which is why we brought up Volpe, but everybody wants him to move third. He has not yet played much third base in AAA, if at all. So interesting that they're not putting him there. If I would imagine if that is the move for him to possibly replace a Donaldson, imagine they'd be putting him over at third, especially because they have Trey Sweeney who can play short.
He's only played 1 game at third in AAA.
However, Trey Sweeney is only in AA.
I meant Peraza. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I thought Trey Sweeney was in AAA, so I was correcting myself. I apologize.
Gotcha. Okay.
But one of the guys who's doing really well in AA, who he's a catcher, but people are looking at him as possibly an outfielder as well, is Austin Wells. Some people think that he's going to make it to the league by the end of this year. I still have my doubts there. People think he can make the league as a left fielder by the end of the year because he's a lefty.
Oh, because they keep okay. Is he that good out in the outfield?
He's only played a few games there. Okay. I don't see him that being the position he's moved up in. He is hitting well. He has a 925 OPS. He's hit 8 home runs there, 26 RBIs. And a pretty high walk percentage, 13%, compared to others that are below that rate. There's definitely I think a route for him to move up. One of the reasons that people don't think that he should stay as a catcher for right now is just because AAA has 3 catchers. It's not including Bro, who is on the IL. So they would have 4 catchers there.
Yeah.
Though I think they may didn't they DFA one of the catchers, or they traded away one of their catchers, or is that another 4th catcher?
You're right. I saw something about that, but I think he was in a lower.
He was in a lower tier.
Like high A or something. Or I think he was below AA.
Navari, or whatever I forget how to pronounce his name. But he was the guy who was like the Higgy of spring training this year, the guy who hit quite a few early home runs but didn't do much of anything else.
Okay, I can't remember who you're talking about.
I know he's there. They have a couple other guys who are hitting in AAA, so that's one of the reasons why people are saying he should move positions, because there's kind of a logjam of catchers right now to be able to move up for and actually get playing time.
Yeah, that's true.
Another, a big time prospect. I think our second prospect, right? Isn't he number 2, or is he number 1 now? Dominguez.
Dominguez is number 1. Austin Wells is 2 in our organization.
Okay, because I'm looking at the one that started the year, and of course, Volpe is still on that, Peraza is still on that, but I think they all got moved off with their service time in majors. But Peraza, our number 1 prospect, he started off really slow. Then he got hot.
Peraza?
Dominguez.
Okay.
Dominguez. He started off very slow in AA. I think he didn't have a hit for like the first 2 weeks. Then he got hot, and now recently he's gone back cold again. He's hitting .211, and he has an OPS right around 700. 8 home runs, 29 RBIs, 14 stolen bases. I mean, he's not doing terrible, but a lot of people, again, are trying to call this guy to be a major leaguer by the end of the year, and it's like...
Yeah, I think that's just people jumping on,
there's no way.
No, yeah. I mean, I know he had kind of a fun spring training this year. It was cool they invited him to spring training. Yeah.
Got a lot of pop in his bat. He's got
There's
speed.
No way he makes the major league
player, but
if he's on our roster in the major leagues this year, we're in a bad place. Like, we're in a really, really bad place if he's on our roster.
Our left fielder is our future left fielder. If we are going to get a new left fielder by the end of the season, is currently on another major league roster,
another team.
Yeah. Like it's like Cody Bellinger. It's Cody Bellinger is my favorite for that role, but it could be Lars Nootbaar. It could be what was that?
Are you still seeing Ryan? I'm not seeing Ryan anymore.
I see you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You see him? That's all right. Okay, then we can continue. On my screen, you're just an R. That's fine. Keep going. All good. Okay. I'm sure it'll come back. Yep, no problem.
I was just saying that Cody Bellinger is my favorite to win that position. But anyway, I mean, there's plenty of other guys, that we could get. Just left field is not going to be the position that Jason Dominguez takes. If like you said, if Jason Dominguez is called up to be a major leaguer by the end of the year, the Yankees are in a below 500 position. We are eliminated from the playoffs, and so now we're just throwing shit to the wind and hoping.
Let's see what works. Let's see how you do. So that's not a good place. We don't want to be there.
When he was, because we were eliminated from the 2016 playoffs, and we were like, well, we're getting rid of Alex Rodriguez, and we're going to move Judge up. So we don't want to be in that position.
Nope.
Now, could he be a Volpe next year, where he kind of skips some of AAA and moves straight up to MLB? Possibly. Depends on what the major league roster is. Depends on how
it's going to need to get a lot hotter.
But yeah,
because like Volpe and Volpe and double. Yeah, Volpe in AA was really a lot better than this. Yeah. So and that's why he got the chance to win the starting shortstop position, and I'm glad they did. I think,
One guy who is doing really good in AAA, who is a possibility to move up by some point in the season, I think, is Andres Chaparro. I mean, he's not high on I think he's in the top 30 of our list, but he's not a high up prospect within MLB, but dude's raking in minor league. I mean, he's slowed up a little bit with his power as of late, but 254 batting average. He's got an OPS of looks like 785. and 11 home runs, 36 RBIs, 36 runs. He's another guy who's been really good in that part of the lineup. He is a first baseman and a third baseman. So again, that log jam is kind of what's going to prevent that. And he's a righty, so he's not the batting side that the Yankees would want. But if there's an injury to, I mean, God forbid, Rizzo or someone like that, Chaparro is the type of guy who I think could come in there, and if it, for a short period of time, do a decently good job.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anybody else that we want to talk about. Maybe Spencer Jones.
The only person that I know, Spencer Jones is really exciting. Someone a little closer that I keep hearing his name thrown around is Will Warren. He's 7th on our prospect list, and he's a right-handed pitcher. So, but I don't know if he's a relief pitcher or not. I just see his name thrown around a lot.
His name's thrown around a lot. He's in Double-A. Or he's in Triple-A now, but his ERA
he's in Triple-A. Yeah, he started the season in Double-A, and he was moved up. Right. No, his ERA and that's probably why I heard his name a lot. Is because in Double-A he was doing pretty well, decently, and then when he's brought up to Triple-A, his ERA is over 7. So, not doing so hot in the adjustment period right now.
Now that is only 4
he's
games,
certainly, I think
so.
Yeah, and I think people are kind of high on him. They want, they think they see
potential.
Good things come, good potential for him. Yeah,
I would say he does have a high strikeout rate. His Ks per 9 is right around 11. But it's his walks that he's really had a difficulty with in AAA as well as home runs. He's given up nearly a little over 5 walks per 9 innings and almost 3 home runs per 9 innings.
Yeah.
So I mean, certainly
adjustment. He needs to spend more time. Yeah, needs to spend more time in AAA figuring things out, and hopefully he can find the, dominance, I guess, or whatever that he had in AA. Not dominance, but his good outings. But anyway, that's the only other one that other than Spencer Jones is, he was like our number 1 draft pick this last year, right?
Yeah, and he's in A+ now. He's in what is that, High Valley or something?
High A.
What's the name of the?
Hudson Valley.
The Hudson Valley. Thank you.
Hudson Valley Renegades, I think, is where what that is.
And he's doing decent there. I mean, it's nothing crazy. He does have a very high strikeout rate while he's there, 34% strikeout rate. So I mean, obviously he's got a lot to develop.
They compare him to Judge, right? Not just because of his height, but
he's very similar to Judge, just on the left side. I mean, his swing is very similar. He's got a very this guy probably has taken a lot of inspiration off of Judge, and just because of his height, he probably was like, "Hey, this guy
6'6",
yeah, this guy is really good." But he does have really good power. He has 12 stolen bases as well, so he's got some speed. 7 home runs. And guys like this, striking out a lot in High A is nothing to concerned about.
Be concerned.
Those are things that can be fixed. Judge came in. We talked last time that Judge came in and everybody was wanting him to be sent back down because he struck out so much. I think even during his rookie year, when he won Rookie of the Year, his strikeout percentage was pretty high. And I mean, his strikeout percentage is not low by any means now, but it's
It's not high,
it's
but but his strikeout percentage is just going to be high because that's the type of hitter he
swing
is.
He takes, so he's going to figure out how to make better contact. I imagine he's not going to be a guy that we're going to see in the major leagues for a couple of years. Maybe the earliest 2025, but Spencer Jones is a guy to just be keeping an eye on. Very well. I mean, he is an older rookie too, or not? He's not even a rookie. An older Single A guy. I think he's 22.
22.
But Judge didn't make it to the league until he was 25, 26. So, one of the crazier things is Harper and Machado are younger than Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I know. It's always weird to think about that.
It's weird to think about because,
especially with Harper, he's been in the league forever.
But both of them, Machado and Harper, started. Machado started as a 20-year-old, but Harper started as a 19-year-old. So I mean, they played so much longer until Judge got up. But sometimes it just takes some players to develop, And I think that's going to be Spencer Jones, and when he's ready, he'll be lefty Aaron Judge.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah. Well,
that's cool. Well, another name that I see often, just like real quick, I don't know too much about him. I just often see him as trade bait or whatever. Like people in their mock trades include Pereira.
Everson Pereira is still in that
Everson.
Lot. And it's probably because he is really high up on our list. But when you have Jason Dominguez,
in our system,
when you have Spencer Jones, when you have a lot of outfielders, I just hope he's not an Andujar where we keep saying he should be the trade piece. He should be the trade piece.
And then he just sits
there.
And
then he never is. And then he gets DFA'd. But.
Gotcha. Looks like he's in AAA, but I'm looking at his last 10 games that are all in AA. So he must have been recently moved up, right?
Moved up, yes.
Probably. Yeah, because it's saying he's in AAA,
I think he
but
started
the last 10 games. Yeah. So it looks like he played
because he started in AA.
Okay, yeah, so May 30th he played in a Somerset game, so he must have just been called up. So
maybe he was called up for Cole Calhoun.
Oh, you're probably right. Yep, you're probably right.
It's possible.
Yep, got to fill that roster spot. Or on AAA anyway. Yeah.
He wasn't doing bad down there either. I mean, he had a 285 average, 864 OPS, 7 home runs, 7 stolen bases. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely a guy that a lot of people, I think, if we're going to trade an outfielder, it's like, you can have Pereira. You're not going to get Jason Dominguez, though. I think he's one of those guys I think a lot of Yankee fans are hoping is the trade piece because they don't want to lose somebody like Jason Dominguez. I do fear that if you want somebody of a big name that's going to help us win a World Series this year and make a big move, I think we got to be willing if people are willing to take Jason Dominguez. I like Jason Dominguez. Like I said, I think he's got a lot of pop. I think he has a lot of potential, but potential is potential. You don't always know with these guys. He could be a big bust. I mean, he's already showing struggles of hitting in AA. Yeah. I'm just saying that, if we're going to get a big star, I'm not in the position of going to be calling for Cashman's head if Jason Dominguez is moved to get somebody that's going to help us win a World Series.
No, I mean, he's so young that, I mean, he could be like you said, he could be a huge star, but he could be a bust. And I feel like, I'm pulling this stat out of my butt, but 80% of the time these prospects don't work out. Shoot, it could be higher than that. So yeah, I agree. I think these, even Dominguez, Pereira, Peraza, these have to be on the table if we want. We've got a big hole. You've got a couple of big holes in the Yankees roster.
Yeah, I mean,
they have to be on the table.
We have a left fielder hole, we've got a closer hole, and we have starting pitching depth.
Pitching hole, yeah. So and the market isn't that good right now, so you're gonna need to probably sweeten the pot a bit for someone. I think good. Bieber. We can probably talk about this on a pod a little closer to trade deadline, but Bieber is really the only one that comes to my mind real quick as someone who might be a very good trade piece on a team that is waffling right now.
Yeah, though not a lot of people not liking Bieber, and again, we could talk about it more. But
he's just the one that
since 2020.
No, he hasn't, and I'm not sure I'm totally in on trading him. But
he's one of the names that has come up.
Yeah. So, right. So, but you're gonna, but like you have probably hard pressed to think about another big name like that could have an impact. There's probably some out there. I just can't right now. I'm not, didn't prepare for that, but you got to include some of these big guys. Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to be asking for them. If we can trade for one of these big guys who can help us win a World Series without getting rid of Jason Dominguez, then great.
Cool. Great. But none of our prospects are on I don't know where Jason Dominguez is on the top 100 of MLB prospects, but I think he's the only one on the top.
He's one of the only ones that are very high, because who's our number 2?
Our number 2, I just clicked off of it. Sorry. Our number 2 is Austin Wells.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's on the top 100 for MLB. Yeah. So I think Jason Dominguez is like 30 or something. Did he? Okay.
I think he just made the top 100. So yeah, I mean, it's a big gap between Jason Dominguez. So if you're going to sweeten the pot with anybody, that's really all you got to sweeten the pot, unless you're trading an Oswald Peraza. Somebody that the Yankee fans love, who's in these positions, they're going to have to be traded. There's only 26 spots. So
yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, we'll see how that unfolds in the next month or so, a couple months.
Yeah, we'll be talking more and more about trade stuff as we approach deadline day next.
Yeah, after the All-Star break, you're going to get kind of a lot of that talk. So, so those are the prospects that we've got. There's a lot of exciting people, but you never know how prospects work out. So we'll always keep an eye on them. Well,
I sent you a Who's That Yankee? I don't know, Cliff, do you have one of the, I don't know if you have one of those audios or something for this, but I've got a Who's That Yankee for me.
We absolutely do.
All right.
Who's That Yankee?
Oh, God.
What?
No, nothing. I'm just, we were talking beforehand, and this was my era of Yankees, which it is. It's my era of Yankees. I'm just nervous. So let's see. This is a position player. And let's see, he's played from 1989 to 2003. A nice long career. Yankee from 1996 to 1999. Pretty good years there for the Yankees. So you think I'd be able to get this? Can we give me a hint at least of an outfielder, infielder?
I'll start with the position. So first off, I want you to look at his home run box real quick.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
He is a catcher.
Oh.
That might be enough.
Is this Joe G?
It is Joe G.
All right. I would not have known that. Yay. I didn't know his home run total was so small. I mean, I never thought he was a power hitter by any means, but he's only said. Oh boy. He's only hit 36 home runs in his career. How about that?
Hello?
You can't hear me? Hello? We can hear you.
I lost you guys completely.
Oh, no. We can hear you.
Okay, there you are. Sorry, the screen actually went away on my thing, but somehow it didn't.
That's what happened to me earlier when I was like, can you see Brian?
Well, I think he's telling us that your internet sucks, so.
Oh.
Mine does?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, my internet often sucks, but today I look like I had 3 bars.
Oh, man.
Hopefully this is all, you're actually all hearing this instead of, there's nothing.
A little gobbledygook. We'll see. It says, I think I got a message that said, don't worry, it's still recording. So, all right.
Okay. Yeah, people who watch or listen to the pod be like, I don't know what they're talking about.
We have had some technical
just so you know, we're having some technical difficulties right now. My entire computer just basically put up a different screen entirely.
It's like no more. You are over an hour. You lied, and you are.
It put up my UCF work. It was
it is fatigue.
I don't know. My laptop was trying to tell me it's time to do schoolwork or what, but
your laptop
threw that up instead of this. But anyway,
done.
Joe Girardi was known just to be a defensive catcher.
Yeah.
So
he was a very good defensive catcher.
My second, and and this was kind of going to be like a kind of a cryptic hint if you didn't get it from catcher, but I was pretty sure if I told you catcher, it was going to be pretty obvious who it was. But my second hint was going to be that he won 4 World Series with the Yankees. And so I was expecting you're going to be looking at it and be like, but they only won in 96, 98, and 99. What was the other year? And I'm like, well, he wasn't a player with the other
yeah, right. Okay, so that's a sneaky one.
That would have been my sneaky little hint that if you were looking at the years he played, you would know that there was a year 4 that was
World
missing.
Series rings from the Yankees. Yeah, I didn't realize he was an All-Star when he was with the Cubs in 2000.
I didn't know that either. Again, it must have been mostly defense because nothing overly outstanding when it comes to hitting. I mean, he's not a big time.
Yeah, I didn't like Posada was taking over his role at that point, and I think like 98 or it probably looks like it. It
actually just
his games went down.
Jorge Posada, I think he came in 96, but was mostly a backup. Yeah, came in 96, was a backup in 97, and then split 98, and then was full time by 99.
Yeah. Girardi only has 65 games in 99 with the Yankees, so then he goes right up to 106 games with the Cubs. So probably kind of like a comeback sort of all-star selection kind of thing for him. But nice. Well, I'm glad I got one. Thanks for the good hint of that he was the catcher.
I feel like that's not even like too much of a hint. It was more of just like being able to know where he plays, what position he plays. Sometimes that just helps, especially if it's a position player, not a pitcher.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell if it's a starter or a relief pitcher or if he's a closer or not. Like, if they're on the pitching side, because their stats tell you pretty much where they play. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, nice one on that. I was hoping to get one that wasn't like exactly like a Jorge Posada who's played,
all New York.
All New York. Though that would be an interesting one to do as an all New York one and see if you can figure out
which all New York one. I was kind of thinking about that. Like you pick like the 2000 Yankees and then like highlight like which is this Bernie or is this Jeter or is this Jorge? That'd be kind of funny to do too.
Be interesting.
Pick out their stats. Like that one has to be Jeter. But yeah. Yay, I got one. I'm so excited. Okay, so we have coming up for the Yankees, they will be playing the White Sox next, Tuesday through Thursday, and then they will be playing the Red Sox for the first time, Friday through Sunday.
It's taken until June
with the
new Red Sox.
The new format with spreading out. Yeah. Sorry.
So yes, we are this week and next week. We're home and away.
Yep, home Red Sox this week. Yeah, so that's we play the Mets too in the middle.
About the fact that ESPN is yet again playing Sunday Night Baseball, Yankees Red Sox, and I'm like, but that's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say like it's not in. I was thinking about this the other way. Yeah, it's not the rivalry it used to be, but the fans sure hate each other still. You think about like I don't like the Red Sox, but like you're not like I'm more angry at the Jays as a team right now, or not angry, but just like fuck them kind of thing.
Yeah, I hate that team. I hate the Astros team more than I hate anybody on
right.
Red
like
Sox.
As far as like an active like
funny to like make fun of them, especially because Detroit. Boston's defense is looking like 2022 defense again.
Oh yeah, the last couple I saw some pretty bad
because we had some pretty bad defense against the Padres. But but theirs was
they were looking pretty bad.
Something similar and somehow looked worse. Like they did the same thing inside the park, home run by a lot of missed throws, but somehow it looked much worse.
Bad. Yeah, it's because it was the Red Sox doing it. No.
Well, I think too they had like 3 bad throws instead of just 2 throws. Like it was basically the Yankees had one kind of bad throw that should have been backed up, and then one horrific throw
by Higgy.
And then
he acknowledged, he was like, well, because I think he hit like a home run, or he hit an RBI later that game, and he was like, well, I had to make up for the throw that I threw into the left field stands. It's like, yeah, you did.
He did. He needs to make up for that, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
anyway, so nice to. It's still a rivalry series. It's still a series where you don't want to lose those games, especially. I mean, the Red Sox suck.
Neither team does. I mean, the Red Sox won't want to lose it because they're in the
nobody wants. Yeah, so it's still
in the bottom.
I understand why it's on Sunday Night Baseball.
They're hovering at 500.
Bought Sling.
So
you there, Ryan?
I think we're having technical difficulties again.
Oh man,
you guys are frozen on my end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. It must be really bad Wi-Fi on my end. Hopefully, this doesn't make for really awkward conversations on.
We'll see. Basically, all I said was I totally get why ESPN would have it'd be Sunday Night Baseball. It is the Yankees Red Sox. You're going to get a lot of people tune in, so it makes sense.
And all I was saying was that the Yankees obviously want to win it because they're trying to get closer to first. But the Red Sox don't want to lose either because they are hovering over 500 right now, and they're in the bottom of the East. They're most certainly not going to want to be put under 500 by the Yankees. So, it's going to be an exciting matchup. Right. There's going to be a lot of tension no matter what. So, but there is a real exciting matchup this weekend that's going to shake some things up. Texas versus Tampa this weekend.
True, that's going to shake that. You're right. That'll shake things up.
It'll really show how good Tampa really is.
Never mind. Yeah, that's true. And because they've been, like we've talked, I know we're not going to MLB a whole lot, but they're 6-4 over their last 10. Last week they were 5-5 over the last 10. So they're
very much
certainly
right
playing. It's not
500, 6-4,
which, as we've mentioned, doesn't really hurt them a whole lot, but they haven't had to play the Rangers. So we'll see. The Rangers are hitting beasts, and their run differential is 152, which is,
unless something major happens, a little sneak peek into the power rankings for Thursday, they're my number one team. I mean, their pitching is really good.
As far as power rankings go,
really good.
They would scare if we had to play a playoff game between the Rangers or the Rays right now. I'd pick the Rays.
I feel like we could beat the Rays. Like, we've shown that we.
I feel like we can too. Even when we were struggling,
when we were losing games, we were able to come close to sweeping them. I know, like, we've lost that series to them, but it's like a couple of bad decisions and a couple of, like, Cole being terrible situations. Like, you clear all that, and we've swept.
But they were all within reach. Yeah, they were all within reach. So.
And that's not me saying that, like, that basically we swept the Rays, but I feel like we can beat the Rays. The one series we played against the Rangers was not good.
We did not look good. No. We were also on bad, on a bad stretch there too, but it was worse.
Got his initial injury.
Yes, that's right. We were without wrist. Judge, so yeah.
Anyway, a very interesting series coming up. We'll be facing the Rangers later this month, but it'll be an interesting weekend for baseball.
Yeah. So excited to see all the series. I will plug in the Gators won their regional, non-Major League Baseball, but the Gators won their regional. They're on to Supers, so the Gainesville is hosting the Super Regionals. They'll play against
Will you be going to
South Carolina. I might be going to that game. I might have already bought tickets and didn't tell my husband yet. I have to check. I don't even know the time. It just said buy the tickets, and I said okay. So I have tickets to. I think it's Friday. I think it's Friday and Saturday. So I have tickets to both games.
This coming weekend?
Yeah. Aren't we here?
We are. I think I told you about pool.
Oh, well, I'll find someone else to go. It's fine.
All right.
I'll come up.
I see you're
there you go. You come
I see you're broken up about it.
I'm going. Love you. Good luck at your pool tournament.
Apparently, I'm not necessary for a good time.
I will. I'll take your spot, Cliff. No worries. So, and I know Megan would rather have you, but but I'll be.
It would.
I'll be the secondary option. No.
Did you see my Instagram story from the game this past week that we went to? We went to the game on Friday, and I was like showing, doing the girly thing and showing the look at my surroundings, and then I panned over, and Cliff looked like he was sleeping. Yeah. He wasn't actually sleeping.
Yeah, I was about to say, tell the truth.
I gave him the opportunity to wake up. I sat there for a couple seconds, just.
I knew what you were doing.
I posted it.
I knew what you were doing, and you saw how I was sitting, and I knew what you wanted to do. You wanted to call me out on social media.
I didn't notice until I panned over. So no, you're wrong. Anyway, I'm excited to go watch the Gators play against South Carolina. They got their asses kicked by South Carolina at the end of the regular season. So I'm really hoping that that's not the case this time. So.
And I know we're over time. We're kind of going off on a tangent, not even about Major League Baseball. But did you see that ESPN called Clemson's player the Shohei of college baseball?
Excuse me.
What? The only thing I would say is that maybe the Clemson's guy, I don't even remember his name, but the Clemson's guy is
he a better pitcher? Is he a pitcher? Okay. Yeah, Cags is
not nearly as good of a hitter.
Yeah, Jack Caglione has hit 30 home runs up to today.
Yeah.
That's it's definitely an SEC record. And yeah, he as a pitcher, he's, a mid kind of pitcher. He's probably your third starter at best.
Yeah, he's going to be in the major leagues. He'll be a hitter only.
Right there, yeah, they'll have him constant.
If Clemson is going to be a pitcher only, like when you look at the stats, it's they're neither are really Shohei, but I would go
for college. It's fun to
Shohei before, yeah. I just even with the fact that I don't remember stats offhand, but when I saw his stats, I'm like, I mean, outside of pitching, he's got nothing on Cags for hitting.
Yeah, I mean, hitting, it's anytime he comes to the plate, it's
going to be
is he going to be a home run or a good hit? Yeah, so yeah, he's fun to watch. So they've got a lot of good a lot of good hitters on the Gators, and their pitching is, hit or miss sometimes, but Sprout's pretty good, and Langford had, I'm sorry, we're totally going off topic, but Langford had a hit.
Damn Gators right now.
Damn Gators at the moment. He had single. He steals second. They had a shift on for whoever was up to bat. I forget. They had a shift on. So Langford sees that there's no one at third, and he just pops right up at second and goes to third, and it's basically a foot race between him and the third baseman or the shortstop, and he makes it to third. So he steals 2 bags, and it's oh my god, that was really exciting. Was fun to watch. So the regional has been fun. The Gators have
college baseball and softball is a really exciting tournament.
Yeah, softball. I watched the Stanford. Yeah, I watched Stanford and Oklahoma play today. Oklahoma moved on, but Stanford gave them a run for their money, man. Oklahoma has just plowed through everybody that's been in their way. I mean, they're the favorites by far. But Stanford is actually the one who kicked out the Gator women from the tournament. And they were in it for a minute, but they got their asses handed to them. The Gators did. But Stanford is the only team so far that has really given Oklahoma a run for their money. And that was an exciting game today. They ended up losing, but so I don't think anybody's going to get in the Sooners' way, but we'll see.
The Sooners are a good softball team. They've been really a good softball program for a bit. Well, thank you to all of our listeners. We did not make our hour cutoff, but thank you for listening to both Damn Yankees and Damn Gators podcast today.
It's a little extra today.
Thank you to, again, friends and family.
Everybody's got a little taste of what your conversations are actually like without the cameras.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very, very like ADD around.
Very,
did you?
all over the place.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so very true. We thank you for
thank
listening,
you to
and
everybody who's listening. Of course, family, mom, Aaron, friends that have been listening from the beginning. If you're not friends or family and you're just listening to us by now and listening to us rant about Yankees and Gator stuff, thank you as well.
So cool. Yeah. So we'll do it again
follow us.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say just follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Damn Yanks _pod. And then for Facebook at Damn Yanks Pod. Subscribe, like, do all the things for YouTube and Spotify, depending on where you watch us at. And hit the notification button so you get notified of when we have podcasts. I think our next one is going to be on Thursday, so it should come out Friday or whenever it comes out.
Yeah,
but we film on Friday for power rankings and probably a little bit of, because we can't just talk about one topic, so we'll probably talk about something else on Thursday as well. And we'll be back again for the typical pod on Monday.
Yeah.
Next Monday. Next week.
Yeah, it makes it a little easier with all the off days this month.
Yes.
So, yeah. All right. We'll talk again later.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.